I think it's different first work that we see that.
Yes.
And it's need to look at other now.
Exactly. The spiritual piece is very important. That's why every time I do a presentation, I have my spiritual stuff with me, because we have to understand it's a war between the forces of darkness and the forces of light. And basically the forces of darkness have been doing an excellent job of playing their role. The forces of light have been sitting on the sideline, allowing the forces of darkness to push them further and further off the cliff. So, a lot of people are like, wow, you say all this, aren't you afraid, this and that and the other? No, there are two polarities here. And I have a right to bring the polarity of light forward. And there's certain rules that the polarity of darkness cannot stop me. Just like they have certain rules. As the forces of darkness, they have to tell you the truth. The forum of how they tell you the truth, if you want to sleep on it, that's on you. But everything, all the movies, that's where they use the forum to tell you the truth. Because you thought it was a Hollywood fiction, or because you chose not to believe in it, doesn't mean that you wasn't told. Just look at all the movies out there. They're kind of, everybody in my study group, we feel like we should have wrote the script to National Treasure, because that's how it's been trying to stay on the A-list. It's been, research, we run over here, let's look this up, go to this library, look that up, they switched it, they changed the law. We feel like we should have been in National Treasure. And that's how it is, that level of research, that level of trying to decode all of the lies and the deceit and and that's why as I go, I'm trying to leave breadcrumbs, that hopefully someday, one day, people will be like, well, here's a trail, we can go this way. This is the commercial piece, and this is how you stay on that thin line and be able to navigate to the light at the end of the tunnel. So really, we need to be able to take our responsibility. If we call ourselves forces of light, beings of the Creator, we need to play our role. I remember Bob Laws used to say, he was tired of people saying, oh, I'm going to take you to the feet of Jesus. I'm going to take you to the feet of Jesus. And he said, Jesus is like, I've given you a brain and this and that and the other. Why do you keep bringing it to my feet? Use your brain and you create your solution. And so we have to realize that, even as Yeshua said, greater things ye shall do also. So we have to understand who we are and be able to embrace that greatness, that we are a reflection of the Creator. So we should not even have any fear with these demons and these negative forces out here, because we need to do what we're here to do. That is what's going to checkmate the dark forces. Standing up and it's force with force. That's how you get ma'at. That's how you get balance.
My best question is, of course, I'm talking about it before, but I'm kind of scared right now because the 5 minutes, I'm really serious. I got 4 kids, so I'm not going to go into this and say, okay, let me play something and not try to tell them what I'm doing because I'm going to get confused. But when I ask the question, like, they say I'm coming out the nation, how do you do the taxes and benefits, like to get married again, sign your name, and certificates and all that stuff?
Okay, even though it's the 11th hour, you're in no position to do anything. That's why I document. Everybody should be in study and research mode. Once you're in study and research mode, that's where you get the confidence to go in there and do what you got to do. The 3 court cases that I had, I'm not going to front. When I was in here doing battle with the judges with no attorney, I was nervous because, these people are the master liars. They'll switch it in a minute, but when you're in these situations, the only thing The only thing that's going to help you is your knowledge. And the scarer you are, the more that knowledge is going to come up to the forefront. But if you don't have anything to draw on, then you're going to have a problem.
Well, it's just interesting when you mentioned national treasure too. They deal with the spiritual aspect also, like the sister was saying, because they mentioned the Olmec by name. And one of the significant things about that movie was that foundational information they were looking for was in the lost language of the Olmec. And it was referred to as the most ancient language. So they dropped everything for us right there with you.
Well, mostly all of these movies are dropping Now, what was that new movie, the new movie that's out now? Yeah, Eagle Eye. I haven't seen it, but they were saying there was a line in there. You saw it?
What they're doing with themselves, even with the information technology, big brand, investment marketing,
the computer in that movie was designed to destroy the government if they ever got out of line, based on what the Constitution said. So the whole movie's whole point was to try to destroy this computer, because it was going to kill all the wicked politicians because they were breaking the Constitution.
Okay, so
the main characters in the movie, the way they played it, they were for destroying this computer and allowing the tyranny to go on, allowing the slumber, the slavery to continue.
So why? So they were allowing it to go on, but yet they were trying to destroy it?
They were trying to destroy, if they destroyed the computer, the things would go on as they were. The computer was sentient. It became smart enough to have things built into it where it would kill and destroy the government with artificial intelligence. That was destroying the system if it started to break what the Constitution was founded on.
Exactly. And if you notice that the movie I, Robot?
Yeah.
You know, with Vicky in the computer, it's like, you know, you destroyed the screen, this, that, and the other. We have to protect you from yourself. You know, so this is, you know, so they're dropping it in all of these, every last one of them. You know, especially when you now try to look at these movies with a predator consciousness, you're going to be shocked. You know, because even The Matrix, it starts in right off the bat, the first one. He says, don't come to me with that jurisdiction shit. You know, jurisdiction A, jurisdiction B.
Written by black.
Yes, written by Sophia Stewart, who has gotten no credit for this. But she got screwed because, you know, I was, Phil Valentine had introduced me to her. I was trying to share certain information with her coming from a sovereign perspective. But she was, what do you call not a law clerk, but, what do you call it? No, like the healthy lawyer. So, you know, I find that a lot of times attorneys and paralegal, it's very difficult to talk to them because I don't know what law school does to them. But it's like a brainwashing, and it's like I try talking to a lot, and it's like they can't even hear you, they can't see it from that perspective. First of all, UCC was optional to take in law school. So that tells you right there we're going to have a problem communicating. Because that is optional. You know, it's not mandatory that you take that. And that's dealing with comments. But so she, you know, felt that she wanted to go about it based on her training as a paralegal. And, you know, they basically screwed her because they trial went on for 6 or 7 years, and then at the last minute, when it was time to settle, the judge decides to come forward and say, I used to work in Time Warner, so I can't handle it. So how do you wait for 7 years? You know, so now everything was done. You know, so they did all kinds of things, you know, even though she has the copyright. She had all the evidence that she wrote, you know, she was explaining everything. Even